shit. Hey guys, I'm trying now with my new setup and better equipment, aka I got a brand new, well, it's not brand new, I got a new to me computer with a lot more power than my last one, so hopefully I can get through this without it fucking up halfway through. We'll see. I don't know. And today I decided I'm going to do a painting of my dog. Alright guys, so please let me know if the sound is weird or anything. Actually, I'm gonna mess up. I'm learning. Oh, sweet. It reconnected and everything. See, my computer I was using, I had to unplug the USB cord and then re-plug it back in. The whole thing was kind of a pain in the ass. Alright. So I'm going to be painting a picture of my dog today. I've been having kind of a shitty day, not feeling great. So, I don't know, I'm trying to give myself smaller hurdles and goals to reach so that I feel like I am doing something and not being like a waste of space. But the painting I was working on is really big and I just didn't want to tackle it. So, I'm doing a little guy today. And it's going to be of my dog, Coney Dog. He's very cute. He's a puggle, so pug and beagle mixed. So I took this picture of him today. I'm not going to do all the junk in the background. I'll make up a better background for that. But yeah, so we'll see. I think I might need to put new paint out actually. I've been in a funk, so I haven't really been painting a whole lot lately, so I think that what I had out might be a little dried up. Looks like it. So I'm just scraping up all that old paint. Still sticking it in some of my rags. What a mess. I also hope the sound is working properly on this because I had to do some finagling to get it working properly. Right now, actually, I am cleaning my palette. It's a mess. It's actually not very bad, but and my palette is a piece of glass taped to cardboard because that's what I was taught in art school. The glass is nice because you can clean it easily. Obviously, I scraped it. Oh, what a waste of paint. Feel bad about it, but you know, sometimes you're just not in the mood to create. That's good enough. Okay, now I just need the actual paints. Paints, where are you? Oh, shit. Yes, I keep my paints in a shower caddy. Don't judge me. It works. Got myself a drink going over here for the stage fright. Mostly it's just an excuse to drink. Got some rum chata mixed with almond milk. It's delicious. Alright, so I only put one color up so far. And that's because this one I'm actually going to do a little different than the last painting. I'm going to do a wash of color on the background here. Many brushes. Oh, goodness. This is a good one. The music, by the way, is a Spotify playlist it made for me. It's mostly 90s music. I'm not gonna... Let's see. That one's fine. Well, thank you. They're looking nice. I just haven't felt like tackling them. I don't have a very clear direction for where it's going, you know. Usually I'm okay with that, but I don't know. Just not feeling it. So I'm doing a wash of, of burnt sienna. So by a wash, I just mean that it's paint that's been diluted a lot with turpentine substitute, whatever. Paint thinner. Thank you for watching, the 2 viewers that I have. In case you missed it, I'm going to be painting Coney Dog because he's cute and I wanted to do something cute and small. Also, I painted a picture of a cat for my boyfriend's brother and his wife. And ever since then, I always wanted kind of a painting of my dogs. And I never did it. But I figured today was a good time. Ooh, thanks for showing up, other viewer. Oh man, there's pretty good glare on that. That's nice. I'm just moving the glare. Okay, well, at least the glare's on the side now, I guess. Alright, I'm just putting out some more colors now that I have the base on there. I'll scooch you over here. Don't judge my art room. I have a lot of art shit and not a lot of space. I'm also trying to record this one. Oh shit, what am I doing? I'm trying to record this one too so I can actually put it up on my channel, which would be nice because right now I don't have a whole lot of content, so it's difficult to get people following me if they don't know what the hell I'm doing, so. Just some burnt umber too. It's a nice brown. Alright. I'll take you back. Take you back to the painting. Woohoo! So I'm actually going to start doing the outline and the shapes of Coney Dog with his picture upside down. And that's actually an art trick that you do because, you know, I see Coney Dog every day. So like in my mind, I have a vision of what he looks like. And when you're trying to actually copy something from life, you're trying to copy how they actually look. And it's easier to kind of ignore what I think Coney looks like and just look at, you know, shapes and lines. So that is the reason for that. Alright, so I want to get an idea of where I want him positioned on here. So I'm thinking his feet down here, and his head Up here somewhere. Should make his tail like down here. I know this doesn't look like a whole lot right now, but it is. I'm just trying to get the really basic shapes of things. So, starting with his little two paws. So this is kind of how you check your angles to make sure that you're actually following the right thing. It's the same thing you would do if you're doing like a painting from life, you know, like if I look at somebody and I need to know like how their chin is angled, you do the same thing. You just kind of look at it and then bring your line over. I'm just trying to, starting from his feet where I want them, and an idea of like the scale. I'm gonna try now to get the rest of his body in here. I think that I might have done his face too far this side. No, maybe not. It might be okay. Let's see. And I'm getting the shapes of like the highlights on him, so you can see here I'm just getting these white bits. Okay, and then this goes like into his ear, kinda, and then his head, here. Thanks. It was pretty cute. Usually he's terrible for photos, actually. Like, he just moves too much. He's too excited. So I was really surprised he let me get a picture of him today. A pretty good one. He also, like, knows when I'm taking a picture, so he avoids looking at at my phone. Like, he doesn't want to make eye contact with the camera. It's the weirdest thing. Before I get too much detail in here, I want to make sure that I have the rest of his body kind of spaced out properly, because if you fuck that up, you got to move everything around. You might as well just do it while you're at the beginning stages. So, it goes like, and it comes in. He's got his cute little back leg here. So I'm going to also use his paw here as a guideline for where to put the other parts too. So I want to know where this foot is. I can kind of do that. And so I know that it's like at that kind of angle. So I put it over too far. I think this is actually not. wide enough here. Okay. See, now, I know I fucked something up because it's supposed to be at an angle like this, but if I did that, then it wouldn't work right with his body. So I think actually what happened is that his foot isn't big enough. I'm trying to scoot that over and make that the right size. But it could also be that I'm fucking this part up. You never know. It's the joy of art. It is a struggle. So that comes in that. I got the start of his ear. Got a little roll here. Got his belly. I don't know what this music is. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this song. I don't know what it is. So I know I only got like 1 or 2 people watching, but how are you doing? How's life? Living in a pandemic. I've been having a little bit of a hard time myself, having like a bit of a crisis. Mostly the issue is that I'm looking for a job and I don't think I'm gonna like any job. And like, I get that people don't like jobs in general. I get that. That's totally, you know, I know no one likes working. But I feel like I have like PTSD from my last job being so shitty. Not that it was even a shitty job, it was just so stressful and exhausting. So I ended up getting a job for a week. Pretty cool. I don't know. I want to make money, obviously. I need to live. But I also don't want to be miserable, which I think is maybe even just as important, maybe even more important than making money. So, I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, dude. That job was so stressful, and now like I have been now 6 months unemployed, minus that week of having a job. And it's been really nice having this time off, but like I find myself having trouble with the idea of making myself go back to work like 40 hours a week. So I'm looking for part-time now. That was one of the problems with my job for a week, is that I only wanted part-time hours and they were giving me like way too many. So I don't know, I gotta ease myself back into the workforce. I did apply for a job today. I applied for a job selling weed legally. It's legal here, so we'll see if I hear back. My aunt tried telling me to apply at this like Japanese patisserie, but like I already did on Indeed, and they didn't want me. I already got like a rejection from them, but they're still hiring. Like, what the fuck's wrong with me? Why can't I work at your patisserie? I love baked goods and Japanese stuff, so like what's the issue, guys? I don't want to be a manager, though. I don't want the responsibility. Like, I could probably work up to it, but I'm not going to do that for a while. And also, Derek was a manager at a dispensary, at 2 different ones, and it just seems like they work you to death. Like, it just sounds awful. So, I don't know. I've been management before. it sucks. I don't want the responsibility. I just want to go to work, do a job that's not too hard, and then come home and not be miserable. Is it too much to ask? Is it? I think it is. I keep telling Derek we need to like leave the country. I don't think he's sold on it though. Told him I could go teach English in Japan, but he's a big man. Like I think he would have a lot of trouble just existing in Japan. And also he says, "Oh, well, I don't know the language." But you can learn it, you know? Okay, so I think I got, it just looks like a bunch of gobbledygook probably. Oh, maybe it looks okay on the camera. Oh, dude, I do want to move to Costa Rica. It's so beautiful there. I've been actually doing like legitimate research on leaving the country. So the only issue with Costa Rica is that to get like a visa to actually work in Costa Rica, it requires you to basically prove that, you know, you're the most qualified candidate for whatever particular job, and no Costa Rican person could do the job, you know, because obviously, you know, like America, they don't want them taking their jobs. And I respect that. I do. So I would have to be able to like, I would have to be self-employed basically, or work under the table somewhere, which still not out of the question, but just a little more work. So just for checksies, I'm gonna see. How do we look? How do we look? It looks like a Coney Dog. I think his butt is not quite right. Do like a. Also, it should be level with his head, so I made it way too long back there. Let's see. It should be more like there. I'm kind of making an imaginary connection here. I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of paint away what I did. Still even more than that. Alright. I don't know. I just feel disillusioned, you know? Thank you. It's coming along. I don't know what I did to his back here. That's the thing. It's called foreshortening. So like, you know, when you're like looking at someone and they like point at you, like obviously my arm is long, but you only see like, you know, if you're looking at the screen, it's probably what, like 3 inches, you know? And so it distorts the way things look, and so his hind legs, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. His hind legs are going to be like a lot smaller looking than his front legs, obviously, because they're more set back in space. Okay, now so I'm imagining his tongue starting like here. So if that's the case, how's that? See? This is why you double check everything. Also, if I were working on a bigger painting, I would have just used a projector and traced, because this is a lot of work, and I think I've proven that I know how to draw. So I don't feel like I need to prove anything to anyone besides that. I think this is starting to look a bit better. It's kind of like this, this tail. This tail's actually kind of thick. We got that thick tail. Thank you for chatting with me, by the way, because it seems so awkward when I'm just talking to myself. So I appreciate you. I do. Okay. Yeah, I think I got a little bit fixed there. Sometimes I'll take a painting and I will go stand in front of a mirror and hold it up to the mirror, because it flips it, and when you've been staring at the same thing for a while, like, your eyes don't process it the same. So you gotta change your perspectives. It's like a life lesson, really. That's cheesy. Thank you. Yeah, I'm playing just a Spotify playlist that they made for me. And they don't really get what I like, but I think it's just because I like a wide variety of things. But they've been making me like a 90s playlist, which has been pretty sweet. Okay, so obviously my dog's not a demon, okay? I'm gonna make him look better than this, but I just gotta put the eyes where they go. My other dog is maybe a little bit of a demon, but this is my sweet boy. Okay, so like this is where his mouth is, right? His feet are a little above that. I think I need to actually move this up a little bit. It's actually down, but like it's up when it's the right way. He kind of looks like a skeleton dog now. Spooky. Very spooky. Actually, I like seeing it in the image from my camera too, because that also changes like how you perceive it a little bit. So I've been starting with the lightest parts, and now I'm going into the darkest parts, because then everything else is kind of in between, and you can gauge them based on your lightest lights and your darkest darks. So there's his mouth. He's got a little nose area, and then his goofy tongue sticking out. This is basically how all of my paintings start. So, like, if you're trying to be an artist, just realize that it's always gonna look kind of shitty and weird. in the beginning, but that's just part of the process. You just have to accept it and, you know, keep refining it as you go. Man, I loved this song when I was a kid. It's great. It's a good one. Look how like sweet this video setup is now though. Before I was having so many issues and it was just getting like frozen and shit all the time. It's not anymore. It's not, and I'm even recording and it can handle it. It's not freaking out. Jesus. I have a hard time not hitting this, but deal with it. So as I go, I'm just kind of refining the shapes of things. He's got his belly starting here, his brisket. This part here, that's what's a brisket on a cow. I looked it up, so I call it their brisket. They got chunky briskets. Not that I would eat my dogs or anything, you know. Okay, so now that I got this kind of in there. I think I made his tail a little too far away from his body. Be a little more curled. That's that pug part of him. He's got the beagle ears and the pug tail. I'm just kind of outlining where it will be. Okay. And then chunky legs here. So he's not fat, he's just part pug. That's just what they look like. There's shadows under his feet. I'm just kind of hinting at them. Sure. Do I have the right angle going on here? Alright, let's flip it again. It's a dog. Still doesn't look right, you know, but it's getting there. It takes time. Time and a lot of work. I think his eyes are a little weird. Gotta be a little more over here. This one's kind of off to the side. This is making him kind of look like an alien or a skull. A little creepy. Yeah. It's happening. It's doing it. Sorry, I'm just checking the computer. Jesus. If I could stop moving this goddamn thing. Okay, so same thing now. I'm just going to keep going in and kind of refining where things are and moving things as necessary. Part of the reason for doing the ground, or the yeah, I mean that's what it's called, but the the wash of paint on here is because it allows you to really see the full range of lights and darks, whereas if you're painting on something that's just white, it's harder to gauge the colors, you know. I got something weird going on with his leg here, but I'm working on his face right now. Coney Dog is 10 years old. His birthday is July 3rd, so he's going to be 11 years old pretty soon. He's my sweet old man. I've had him since he was a puppy, just a few weeks old. Yeah, it's turning into a Coney Dog. Life is bullshit, so when you want, cause you might get run over, or you might get shot. I gotta say, karaoke is like one of the things I miss most from pandemic times. Although my sister's birthday was just a few days ago, and we went to like a private karaoke booth place, like how they do it in Japan. You get your own room with just the people you know, and that was a lot of fun. Got a little bony elbow here. It's all the same. That's looking more like Coney Dog by the minute. Feeling good about it. Hey! I want the front-facing camera. Sorry. Okay. Back to what I was doing. So his body is still looking a little funky to me because I think I really did kind of fuck up on it. I made it go way too high up. This is the struggle, I'm telling you guys. So like his head the top of his head should be like above his butt. And right now it's not. So I done effed up. Should be like here. What is this song now? I don't know what this music is. I mean, if it's your favorite song, I'm sorry. I don't know, but here we go. So yeah, I'm going to examine here what is going on. I'll do it upside down again. So this should start like here. There we go. So this is where it should be now. So let's say F you, all this stuff. For real, this is what you do. Looks a lot more like his body though. I've spent like hours on paintings before just to like end up doing this to it. It's a little disheartening, but it's just part of the process. Yeah, his body's looking a lot better now. Just like his jowls, and then down here is where his lip starts, little feet. Okay, so let's say if this is where his brisket ends here. That's where the brisket ends. And his feet should be just a little bit below. Just like here-ish. Okay. And then let's do our angly thing again. That's like that. Okay, that makes sense. And then this is like this way. And then there we go. Okay, and then this is where his tail would start. So, here. Ka-chow. And there's a tail. Okay, I'm gonna turn it around again. That is much better. I don't know if you can tell. I can tell the difference though. It looks much better. Oh, thank you. This coming together, I think. How's the video and the sound and everything? Is it like making sense? Is there any crazy lag that you noticed or? Again, I'm still kind of new at this, and I've been tweaking all my settings on my like streaming software and shit to get it working properly. But luckily, I was able to actually like record a couple things to test like audio, because obviously I don't want it to play my voice to me, you know. So I had to make sure it was actually recording it. This streaming shit, that's a lot of work. It's not really. It just takes some setup for sure. Where I go, I don't know. This part is like the most important, but it's also like not the most exciting. My favorite is when you get into the little bitty details, because that's when it really comes to life, you know? Thank you. If you just tuned in, see I've got another viewer. I don't know who's viewing, but you're welcome to be here. I appreciate you. I'm painting my dog. His name is Coney Dog. He is a puggle, so half beagle, half pug. He's a sweet boy. So again, I'm just in like the beginning stages, so I'm really just trying to get the shapes of everything down properly, or accurately, I should say. Properly, what's that even mean? But get it kind of accurate, and then you have a good foundation for when you put all of the details and such on there. I was kind of losing my lines in here because I had to redo them a few times, so I'm kind of just coming in and refining the edges, although I just totally screwed up that one while I was talking about it. That's okay. Life, right? Remember, I was playing video games. I was playing Assassin's Creed, the French Revolution one. I don't know what the hell the names are of them. But I was trying to show my boyfriend, I'm like, oh my god, look at how cool this is when I jumped from this really high up place into this bale of hay, you know? But I totally just fucked it up and like just fell. just fell, you know? You jinx yourself when you're talking about it. Just giving a little indication of where his toesies are. And again, I'm doing the fat over lean technique because I usually do my paintings in a lot of layers, and I've explained this before, but in case you don't know, the paint dries at different rates depending on how thinned it is with the turpentine, or how fatty it is with oil. Obviously oil doesn't just evaporate, but paint thinner does. So you try to do the thinner layers on the bottom so that they dry, and then the top layers can dry more slowly. If you do it the opposite, then the stuff on the top is dry, but the bottom is wet, and that's when it causes cracks in the surface of the painting. So yeah, paint facts. And that's only because I'm using oil paint. If you were doing acrylic paint, it don't matter. Don't matter. I mean, I'm sure it matters to some extent, but you know what I mean. Trying to get kind of a base color in here, kind of get rid of the burnt sienna. Thought I was gonna have to start wearing wigs not too long ago because I do my hair different colors a lot, and I don't usually have any problems, but I accidentally bleached it too much, and when I was drying my hair after I rinsed it out, I had pieces of hair in my hand. It's really scary. Luckily, I salvaged my hair pretty much. Still not in great shape, but at least I don't have to sorry about that. My boyfriend's on his way home and they shut down the freeway. So that's cool. Love it. Love it. Okay, so what was I doing? So I'm kind of filling in this base color so I can kind of separate him from the burnt sienna background that I got. It's not like a perfect color match or anything at this point. I'm just trying to still stay kind of broad. Thanks again if you're watching. I appreciate having actual viewers. It feels so awkward to me to just like be talking and not have anyone listening, you know? Or talking to maybe somebody. I think I'm just an old person now. It's newfangled technology. Again, Spotify made this playlist for me. It's just a bunch of mostly 90s music, so I don't take responsibility for what it plays. Look at this, we're getting into other colors. It's pink. Woo! I might need a smaller paintbrush for this part. I've just been using the same one for all of this so far just because it's just the base layer. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect or nothing. I think his tongue's all not positioned properly though, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Which means more erasing. Repositioning is more like, okay, so his eye got his like little middle face crease here. Nose, bunch of nose, mouth, getting better. Okay, so let's do this kind of under his eyeball here. Flat. here. His ear is about. I'm just talking to myself. I'm sorry. Okay. I made his ear too chunky. Got pictures of him without his tongue out, but I thought the tongue out was pretty cute. Really captures his personality, you know. That's kind of working right. I think I got to shape where it comes out of his mouth a little bit more because I think it's starting to. My printer also is not having a great time today, so I might have to print a better quality photo. I work from photos a lot. I just find it easier than, for one, trying to paint from life because, like, I could never get him to sit still for this. Two, it's difficult to find people who want to model for you in weird ways. So I end up using a lot of like fashion photography stuff for my figures, just because they're in interesting poses and stuff. Oh man, got some jam. I don't know if anyone calls them that. I do. Starting now. His essence, yes. That's a perfect way to say it. Alright, so I did like most of the big shapes, so I'm gonna go in and start to refine it more. Still mostly working with like the darkest dark parts and the lightest light parts. I moved to a slightly smaller brush too. Yeah, that looks creepy right now. Let me add some reflections and maybe it'll look a little less creepy. Maybe. Yes. There you go. That's a dog. That is a live dog. I don't actually know the words. Yeah, how's it look on camera? Oh well. It'd be nice, I guess, if you could see them like properly. Yeah, that's a dog, huh? Thank you. I appreciate your supportive words. Also, I'm pretty sure that you are my only viewer, so I really appreciate you. Don't feel like you have to stay watching the whole time. I realize it's like a work night and it's getting late, so no worries if you gotta go. I'm excited though this one will be recorded as long as it works properly, so I can just put it up as a video. I also have like a YouTube channel that I have not used in a very long time. I'm thinking maybe I'll bring it back. Now that I'm actually going to have content. Okay, so... So yeah, he looks like goofy AF, but he is goofy in real life, so there you go. Do a bit of the reflection on his nose. These are my favorite bits, is doing reflections and stuff. That's what makes things look three-dimensional, and that's why it's important for like decent lighting in photos and things that you're using as source material. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to reprint this picture because it's looking a little goofy. I don't know if you can tell. It's not a very good quality picture. Like, what the heck is going on there? It's just a bunch of blobs. The photo's actually good. I took it myself. Alright, I don't know what I did with the mouth, but that's okay, because it's just the beginning, and I can always fix it. I got a fuzz on my brush. One of the most infuriating things actually is like I paint in this room, which is specifically like my studio most of the time, but I was working on some commissions not too long ago for like Christmas time and all that, and you know, like they take a long time, so I didn't want to just sit in here by myself all the time, so I was out like in my living room painting, and my dog's hair just gets in every painting if I do it out there. I don't understand. It's not like they're by me, you know, it's just the air blowing that shit around, driving me cray. I actually had to have like a pair of tweezers next to me when I was working because I had to like tweeze the hairs out, because you can see them, like, and they were very small pieces, you know, like 4 by 4 inches or something, so you're looking at those pretty close, and then you know, you just see a bunch of hairs. It's not a good look. Not a good look. It is kind of like a signature, I guess. I could have left them, I don't know. On the bigger, like on my bigger pieces, I don't care. Like, I'm sure I have plenty of dog hairs on some of my bigger paintings because, like, it's just impossible not to. But those were so small, like you couldn't not see them. I'm taking this like smaller brush now and doing some details, and it also it applies a little bit more of the white paint because it's softer. It's not pushing the paint away as it's like applying it, so I can get a whiter white now. So you can see obviously in his face that makes a big difference. Also, I think I kind of screwed up his ear placement, so I'm just kind of fixing that a little bit. Yeah, I think that's good. Man, he's looking cute. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I don't generally do animal paintings. Maybe I should start though, you know? That could be my thing. That is one good-looking Coney Dog. It looks a little weird still, but again, this is just the beginning stages, so I got plenty of time to go in and make revisions, move things around. Some of these less intense shadowy bits in here. I don't know what's going on with his mouth. I'm just blurring it so I can go back in later and fix it. Ugh. Actually, I think I can do a little fixing now. A little bit of white here. Coney's an old dog, so he's got a lot of white fur these days. Okay, I don't know if this fixed it or made it worse, but it is what it is. We'll leave it for now. That is kind of goofy looking. Okay, so let's see where else I can do some more highlights and refining. So I think down here he's got like lighter fur. Some happy little belly fur. I was trying to do Bob Ross. I don't think I succeeded, but yeah. Yeah, I think this is going pretty good now. I was a little worried in the beginning. That's how all of it goes, though. I'm always like, what the hell? And then, like, the last hours of a painting are when you, like, actually start to, like, at least for myself personally. Every artist is different, but usually for me it takes until the very end for me to be happy with it. And sometimes not even then. In high school, I did this painting of, like, this girl. She was, like, at a pier or something, and she had her arms out like this, like catching rain. And I did a painting of it. And, man, I fucking hated it. I hated it so much. I thought it turned out like shit. But everybody who saw it was like, oh, this is so nice. That's such a nice painting. And I was almost offended. It wasn't. It wasn't nice. But I think people are always their worst critics. Their own worst critics, I should say. We're like we were wise and we never compromise. I cannot Just trying to add some shape to his little toes. Sometimes I go to get like a different color paint and then I forget where I was going to apply it. I'll remember it though. Trying to make his toes look more. He got more shape to it. There we go. He's got his little nails. That's his dew claw. You can't really tell. Too much paint. I'm gonna be done with this session here in a minute. I can tell I'm getting lazier. That's how I know that it's time. Paintings take a lot of time, so I'll be back at it for hours and hours more. Don't you worry. Lots of videos coming up. Yeah. That's a good start, though. I feel pretty good about that. Sweet Coney Dog. Coney baby. Jesus. Okay. Just stay. There we go. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Oh, yeah. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. I think I have one on my, art Facebook thing. I'll find it. Dude, I hated it. I still don't like it, even to this day. And I don't know. I still had somebody bring it up recently, too. I'm sure I'm not the only artist that has that feeling, though, about some of their work. Alright, so finishing up, I will show you how I clean up my palette and everything. So that's why the glass palette is perfect, because you just scrape it off with a scraper. It's just a razor blade scraper thing. Get it at the hardware store. I've had this one since I was in college, and I graduated in 2013, so it'll last you. Might need to change the blade, although once you get enough paint and stuff stuck in there, it's pretty difficult to get the blade out because it slides out to the side. That's okay though. These things are cheap. $5 maybe. Alright, so I'm just getting the goopy, messy stuff up, and anything that I blended together that I don't have a ton of paint mixed up for, because if I just have a really thin layer on there, even though I'm gonna right now actually cover it with plastic wrap, it'll still dry if it's a really thin layer. Alright, plastic wrap. And then this time, if I come back to this within a reasonable amount of time, I can still use the same paint. Trying to get more in the mood for doing more art. It's just hard, you know? There's a fucking pandemic, and life is difficult even when there's not a pandemic, and I've been worrying about trying to get a job. There's just a lot going on, so I'm glad I took some time out today to actually get some painting done, but I just gotta keep at it. Yeah. Thank you. I will. So I'm rinsing my paintbrushes out in the turpentine. It's actually turpenoid. It's made for making art. It's a turpentine substitute. And it's made to not smell as much as other paint thinners that you would get if you went to, a hardware store or something. That shit stinks. So I rinse it in there, and then I have this brush cleaner, so I'll go to my sink and clean out the brushes. Another note, if anyone watching this is interested in painting, you don't want to wash your brushes in water if you're going to be using them immediately after, because then the water gets mixed in to your oil paint. Oil and water, they don't go together. So that causes a lot of issues. And then this turpentine that I use, you actually just keep recycling it. So I have this big nasty jar here. So at the end of my painting session, I pour everything in here, and then as this sits, all of the paint and pigment, it just falls to the bottom. So I have like, I don't know if you can see, but like good couple inches of just sediment, basically, just sediment from the pigments and stuff. So it settles to the bottom, and then the clear stuff on top, next time I paint, I will just pour that in, and it's clean again. And that way you don't have to worry about, you know, getting these chemicals into the environment, or even in like your plumbing and stuff. It's just not good. It's not good. No good. Alright, I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all. Here's a last look at how he's doing so far, and then I will be back shortly. Yeah, you can. It's one of those things, like, I try not to wash my paintbrushes over, like, I wash them in my kitchen sink, but I move all of my dishes and stuff so that they don't get this stuff on them. Because a lot of these paints, they have heavy metals in them, so, like, I have a white that's made with lead, and you can tell, like, it's really heavy, the tube of paint. It's pretty cool, actually. But it's just full of lead, you know, so you don't want that in the drinking water. You don't want that on your dishes. Cadmium is like another element, metal that gets used in the paint pigments and stuff. So, yeah, it's best just to, when in doubt, keep your junk, keep the chemicals bottled up. Acrylic is not bad. Acrylic's fine. It's water soluble, and then when it dries, I mean, you still don't want to eat it, obviously, but it dries so quickly, and once it dries, it's like it's just like plastic, you know, so you can just throw it away. And if you rinse out your brushes from acrylic paint and stuff, like, it's fine. One of the things you really gotta worry about is, like, my setup here. I've got my drinks next to my paint water. Dude. I can't tell you how many times I've almost drunk turpentine. So be careful. Be careful if you want to do oil painting. Alright. Well, thanks for watching. I will have this video up shortly. I've never actually drank the turpentine, but man, you get really close. I've seen, like, there's a mug that they sell that says on it, like, not paint water. It's pretty funny. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I will post this on my channel shortly, so hopefully some more people can watch it. I think I've only had a couple viewers this time, so I'll be back, and I will hopefully be continuing with Coney Dog pretty soon, the next couple days. So yeah, join me again for more painting. You are so welcome. I'll have you anytime.